Hey guys, we are do-it-yourself kind of people, so what we're working on is a kitchen remodel. We had a water heater that failed and we tore everything down, got rid of the old insulation, old lath and plaster, new insulation's in, new wiring, new outlets. We're getting ready to do this floor. We have not redone a floor ourselves, but we do a lot of stuff, so we thought we would go ahead and capture this. Maybe share it with some people, that way anybody who's never done or redone a hardwood floor before, maybe learn something, maybe have the confidence to try and do it themselves. We rented this from Menards. I'm sure Home Depot and Lowe's have them. Basically a hook and loop style sandpaper system. So we're going to start out with 36 grit. Got a respirator or a dust mask anyway to wear. So we're going to try this orbital sander, see how well it does on our floor. We've got hardwood floor through the rest of the house that turned out beautiful. We had somebody else come in and do that a few years back, so we're going to give this a try ourselves. And we'll see if we can learn something, hopefully share it with you guys. We're a couple hours in, and we've got the majority of it done with the 36 grit. Huge improvement, looks great. So it's kind of leveled out some of the high spots, allowed us to clean out the low spots. It's amazing how much sawdust we get out of this thing, which really lets you know that you're taking a lot of surface area down. So since we're doing this in stages, we're going to stop with this right now. We've got some texturing to do. Then we'll come back in and finish out the 50 grit, followed up with an 80 grit, and then we'll refinish the floor. But right now, pretty happy with doing it ourselves for our first attempt, and we'll keep you posted with more progress as we go.
We have the floor sanded with 36, 50, and 80 grit sandpaper. We've got our applicator here, our box of rags, and then for this project, we're going with a golden oak varathane wood stain. And as you can see, I've started to stain here a bit. Just trying to get a feel for the color and if we're gonna like it or not. Hopefully we do. It seems that it's gonna match the other oak floor pretty well. So this is where we're at so far.
All right, so we're ready for our next step. We started out with sanding. We had our sander that we rented. We started out with a 36 grit, then we went to a 50 followed by an 80 grit. Once that was all sanded down, everything was good. As you can see, we picked the color that we wanted for our stain to match the other rooms, so we had an even transition. Even though they're different woods, it's still a nice looking flow. Now we're getting ready to apply the varathane on it. So we're going to do 3 separate coats. We're going to put it on using an applicator, touching the edges, getting everything ready. So we're moving on to the next step. We'll have some more video as it progresses. Alright, we've got layer 1 of our varathane down. Hopefully you can see the little bit of the gloss. We waited the 2 hours that are recommended, so now we're getting ready to throw the second coat on. We made sure everything was clean, and since we've got a couple labs, we wanted to make sure that none of their hair was in the way that was going to stick. So you got a black lab, you got a blonde lab, you're trying to do a floor, it's almost impossible to try and keep it clean, but we've done everything we can to make sure that it was ready and prepped. So we're going to lay down layer number 2. Alright, so we got our flooring done. Basically, following the instructions worked well for us. We found little techniques along the way that helped. It takes a little bit of finesse and feeling using the applicator. After the first couple of coats, we found a system that worked well for us, working from a corner to an exit point. We're completely happy with it. Again, there are little techniques that you'll find out that might work for you, each individual a little differently than somebody else. But for our first time, we threw 4 coats on this, and we are super pleased with the way it turned out. Hopefully this will give you the kind of insight on how it goes, maybe the self-confidence to try and do a section of hardwood flooring in your home for yourself. We're real happy with it. We hope if you try it, you will be too.